Knon 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to knon.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
Yo, what's up? I'm gonna kick it with the line, y'all know. Yo, Slim, can I kick it like that? Here we go. Well, it's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven up above. Chicken from tea is simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying? What?
It's time.
Yep.
Time to make the change.
Here we go.
We are the people who can do it.
Oh yeah.
It's time. Time to make the change. We are his people. We can do
Yo,
it.
Mob, kick it for me one time.
We'd like to say good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. We each and every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. All righty. We have Clint and Doc in producing this morning, and a lot of things going on. Wow, is it a lot of things going on? We start to go after a couple of Congress people. I should have gotten Mark Visa, but we decided I really want to hear what you want to say about it and what's going on. We've got several issues. Sometimes it's feast and sometimes it's famine, but this is one of the feast times for media, because when you have the Supreme Court gutting the 1965 Voting Rights Bill, and all of these states trying to make it harder for African American, Hispanics, the elderly, people, even the poor of all groups, trying to make it harder for them to exercise their constitutional right to vote. When you have the United States Supreme Court circumventing that, something is going on in this country that we're going to have to take back to the streets. It was the streets that got us the right to vote in all 50 states. And in order to maintain that right and force the Congress to go back and reinstitute the Voting Rights Act as it should be, it's going to take a lot of fighting. It's going to take a lot of push. August 24th, Washington, D.C., will be the commemoration of the March on Washington in 1963, the 50th anniversary. But it cannot be just a commemoration. It's going to have to be a continuation of really what's going on in America. You would think after 50 years, after Dr. King gave his speech, that the world is entitled, I Have a Dream. That's really not really the name. Once they have this had happened and all of these things have gone on over the years, you would think racism would have died down and people would have forgotten or tried to forget a lot of the things that were happening 50 years ago. But believe me, racism and bigotry and hatred is alive and well in America. It's not many as it used to be, but there's still a group out there. There's still a certain number of people out there still trying to carry on the past. It's ridiculous, it's stupid, it's senseless, it's ignorant, but at the same time, we must be vigilant about what's going on in America. People, we better wake up. Our constitutional rights are about to be, well, they have been snatched away with the Supreme Court decision, 6-5 decision. It has been snatched away, and we got to take it back. You sing the gospel songs, what the devil has stolen, you want to take back. Well, the devil is trying his best to steal your right to vote. And you better take it back. And we want to take it back and keep it. Also, down in Florida, Trayvon Martin trial. It's going on. This thing is so ridiculous to me. It's cut and dry. This man was told not to approach this child. They keep calling Trayvon these two men fighting. No, it wasn't. It was a man and a boy. Trayvon was a minor. He was a minor. He did not live to reach adulthood. It's ridiculous how the media and all of them is playing this. It was not two men fighting. It was a white man and a black boy, or whatever ethnicity you want to call him. It was a man and a boy fighting. The man approached the boy. You hear ask him, what was he doing there? Well, what was he doing there? This is America. So it's be the home of the free. What about that? In other words, we as black people, we can't go certain places. Is that the way it is? Is that the real reality of America? And to have a trial that's a worldwide trial? Do you realize most people in the world is looking at America as a disgrace? To take a young man's life. He was there visiting his father and lost his life going to get some Skittles and some Arizona pop or whatever that is. And to lose his life. This was ridiculous. Also, we got two controversial issues, very controversial. People are split. They're split by all types of groups when they start talking about birthrights. And the Right to Lifers was here in Dallas over this week, and I don't know, they still might be in town. They still talking about rights and what not to do and what they should do, what women should do. I don't know. What do you think about birth control? What do you think about the 20 weeks? They're saying that after 20 weeks you cannot have an abortion. What do you think about abortion? We rarely ever talk about things like that. What do you think about abortion? What's your opinion? And quite naturally, one of the other big issues this past week was gay rights. The right to marry two of the same sex, to marry. What do you think? You think it's America showing its forwardness and opening up to all people, or do you think it's an abomination? What's your opinion? What's your opinion on things like this? I rarely ever talk about them because to me, they're not nearly as relevant as so many other burning issues we have before us. We have some burning issues before us. We seem to want to play ostriches and stick our heads in the sand, but believe me, these decisions that are being made now is not going to only affect our lives, but it's going to affect the lives of our children, grandchildren, and generations to come. What's happening now? Did you still think we'd be having a fight over voting in 2013? Did you think this 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 15, 10 years ago? Did you think we'd still be fighting over things like that? Do you still think our children could be shot down and you would have enough people fighting, trying to get this man off? To me, the whole trial is an insult. Had he not approached this young man, none of this would have ever happened. This whole thing is an insult. Yes, he should get life. He should get life. Something is wrong in America. Something is wrong in America. And the little cook, she lost her job, and they're canceling her contracts, and she and her Southern Fried Chicken and whatever she has and all like that, because she had been using the N-word, the derogatory terms over the years and different things like that. What's new in America? What's new? What's new? What's new? You know, it's sad. When you really think about it, racial bigotry and hatred is so sad. It's so ignorant. It's so backwards. Then they'll turn right around and say, "Oh, I'm God's child. We are all Christians and everything," and act like this. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. It's stupid, and it's time for us as African American people to stand up. To stand up. You see everybody else standing up. You see the Senate passed a bill that would give people that aren't American citizens their right to a path to citizenship. It's there. The House is not going to pass it. The House is going to filibuster. They're still fighting that. And whatever you think on that, I'd like to hear your opinion on immigration. It's a controversial issue, still with a lot of people. I want to hear your opinion on that, because when we look at how everybody is advancing, people are going forward, but we seem to be getting the brunt of the stick and not saying a word as African Americans. We're getting the brunt of the stick. We're not saying a word. Very few leaders are speaking up. Very few leaders are talking about it. Our politicians are basically silent on things that are happening to us, the lack of progress that we are making. We seem like our pulpits, to a great extent, only a few are outspoken like they should be. Why are we so passive? Why are we so silent? Why are we so apathetic? Why are we so lethargically apathetic about this whole situation? What's going on? Have we gotten to the point that we are weary? Are we tired? Are we worn? Are we just not cognizant of what's going on around us in America? What's going on? Is it only when it hit us personally that we get involved, and then we want everyone else to come and be a part of our plight because someone in our family or we have experienced something ourselves that runs us aggressively against the system, and we want everybody to jump out and help us, but as long as it don't touch me, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to be involved. I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to be so heavily minded that I'm not any earthly good. Are we there? Is that what we are doing? What's going on in America? What's going on? Why is it that we have become so apathetic? We have no consciousness about ourselves. We let everyone move into our community, exploit our community, take our money out. All we do is go give our money to everyone else but ourselves and think nothing of it, thinking we have arrived. Maybe we just don't know which way is up. Maybe we don't know which way that we should be. We don't realize that we are a people we're a nation within a nation. We don't realize that. If you don't realize it, believe me, other folk do. And as long as you don't realize it, they realize it, they're happy. They are happy because they know that as long as you don't realize that we are a people, we can be exploited. One by one by one. It's a sad situation. It's a sad situation we in. Give me a call, 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. We seem to have some type of a disconnect from reality. What is it? What's going on? What's the disconnect? What is it all about? Why is it we can't be conscious? To be conscious doesn't mean to be racist. To be conscious means to know who you are and what you're all about. To be conscious is to exercise your God-given right. To be conscious means to stand up as men and women. Teach our children. Teach our grandchildren. Teach them who we are. Teach them the struggles. Tell them about our history. Let everybody know that we're going to stand up and be a people, and we're going to be a great people. Right now, it looks dismal. It looks dark. Oh, yes, you got your house. Yes, you have a car. Believe me, it's more to this thing called living than a house and a car. Please, people, let's wake up. You say you don't like to get up on Saturday morning? It look like you don't want to get up any morning. It's sad. It is sad. 972-647-1893. All righty, let's go to line 4 and say good morning to Laura. All righty, good morning, Laura.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
I am great. I was just visiting from out of town, and I was flipping through the stations, and I picked up your channel, and I was just very interested in what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to say that, you know, as black and white people, I hear your call to rally, and I am a white person,
Mm-hmm.
And I assume that you are a black person. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, you know, it seems like that there is a cry to rally from you to rally black people to stand up and be who you need to be. But it just seems like this cry to rally is a cry to fight.
Why would you say it's a cry to fight?
Well, because it sounds like it just sounds like you're crying out. We need to stand up for our people. We need to.
Do you not think black people need to stand up and be people like white people, own our own businesses, have our own institutions? Well, does that sound like fighting?
Well, no. It sounds like, but see, that's the whole It sounds like aggression. See,
well, wait a minute. Isn't white people aggressive?
But see, I'm not talking about as black and white. I just mean this. You're reaching out to, and I think this is the whole crux of the problem. This fighting between blacks and whites.
No. Who's been winning the fight then? If you're gonna call it a fight, who's been winning the fight? Who has the power in America? Who runs everything?
Have to fight.
Who said you're the one brought up fighting? I haven't brought up fighting. I'm saying black people need to rally, come together, build our own institutions, build our own schools, build our own banks. We need to have all type of institutions like everyone else have. Stores. We don't even hardly have mom and pop stores anymore. Just things that everyday people have.
I agree, but you know, I would just love to address it like, come on, guys, let's stand up. Let's be the people we need to be. Be all you can be, whether we're black or white. But, you know, oh gosh, how do I put all my feelings into words? You know, it's but not a cry to fight. I mean, just a cry for all of us to be
let me tell you something.
Be.
What it used to happen years ago, back in the early 60s and the late 50s and early 60s, blacks would walk into a lunch counter. And,
I know. But
and they didn't want a service, and they would ask the store owners, what do you think? This is just horrible. This is terrible. They're just trying to come in and just take over. This is just horrible. And it's hard to see it. But even in 2013, I hear the same thing. Nothing's really changed in the minds of many people.
But you
to
know
see
what we
blacks
do.
moving forward to you is an aggression, an attack against you, isn't it? Be honest. No, be honest. Be honest. To see blacks take pride in themselves make you feel uncomfortable, doesn't it?
Oh, my gosh. No. One of my good friends is black. I mean,
yeah, well, I've heard that one before too.
But because yes, there is ignorance. We're in this day and age where there's a lot of people who were alive during that time, and unfortunately, the people of this generation can't do anything about history.
Well, I'm alive in both generations. I was alive then, and I'm alive now. And I tell you what, the change.
I would have anger about that, and I mean, I've never.
Oh, I'm not angry.
I've never been oppressed like that. Well, I would be.
Oh, why? It's not going to help me to be angry. Who I'm angry at is people who will not take advantage of all the fighting and the things we had to do back then in order to get our rights and to move forward. And we've gotten to a point where we're at a stalemate and we are doing nothing but sitting back and allow all of our privileges that we fought to get erode. What did you think about the Supreme Court saying that the voting rights, 1965 voting rights bill, should be outlawed and should be put down because these states aren't the same as they were back in 65? Yeah, well, they're telling me to take a break. I sure don't want to get off the phone with you.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Laura. Thank you for your call.
Well, hey, okay, can I just say one more thing?
Put her on hold, Clint, and let's bring her back. All of our lines are full. I realize that, but I want to talk one more minute with her. All right. We'll be right back.
In Dallas, local partners and national nonprofit Connect to Compete have made available for residents digital skills training classes. Classes include basic internet searching, internet basics, computer basics, and more. Local residents are also eligible for programs that provide assistance for internet service and computers. For more information on internet classes at local libraries, their phone number is 1-855-387-9166 or on the web at everyoneon.org. This program is in partnership with Dallas Area Libraries, Connect to Compete, and the Ad Council.
When they're gone for good. This is Scott from KNON's Texas Blues Radio telling you don't miss out on some great blues. KNON's Texas Blues Radio Volume 5 Blues CD. It's a CD put together by real blues fans for real blues fans like you. Texas Blues Radio Volume 5 features great local blues from Michael J. and the Paul Bird Band, JJ and the Detonators, the Chris Watson Band, the Two Tones, Rough Cut Blues Band, Jeff Stone with Charlie Love, Dave Millsap, Sirloin and the Ass Kicking Machine, Tutu Jones, Blues Boy Bo, Buddy Whittington, Andrea Dawson, Kirkland James, Sonny Colley, and Johnny Red and the Roosters. Get a copy now at Forever Young Records in Grand Prairie, Record Town in Fort Worth, and in Dallas at Bill's Records. This is a Dallas Blues collector's item. A very limited amount of vinyl copies can be found at Forever Young Records, the sponsor of this great blues project. CD downloads are available at cdbaby.com. Whether you get it as a download, on vinyl, or on CD, all the proceeds will benefit KNON. For more info on Texas Blues Radio Volume 5, visit knon.org.
All right, we're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. And we have, let's check to see if Laura's still on the line. Laura, are you still there?
Yes, I am. Hey,
right.
I just wanted to say that, two talking points. Black and white people are different. Our cultures are different. We have different styles. Our language is different. I just think that we should wake up and say, for equal rights, whatever that means, I don't know. But it's just, can we just celebrate the fact that black people have their own culture within our culture, white people have their own culture within this culture, just like every other race, and we should just celebrate the differences. We're never going to be, equal as far as our lifestyles or anything else. So
we're never going to be equal. You admit that?
No, but I mean equal, well, that's the wrong word. Forgive my ignorance, but I don't mean it that way. I just mean we're never going to be the same, on the same page, is what I mean.
Why? Tell me the basic differences.
And just celebrate the difference.
Tell me the basic difference between white people and black people.
Okay, just our culture, just our sense of humor, I mean, I have
Our
white
sense of
friends, I
humor.
have
We
white
don't
friends.
laugh at some of the same jokes.
Yes, but there is a difference. I mean,
What's the difference?
it's just
We don't like
it's
some of the
like-
same music.
there's. Well, no. Well, no, I do. I like hip hop.
Most white people, yeah, but most white people I know, they loved
lot of-
Nat King Cole. They
Oh,
loved.
Yes, I'm talking about the new age stuff. I'm talking about like the hip hop and the rap.
Well, I see a lot of white kids involved in hip hop.
There are more and more.
I see a whole lot of them. Just
But seriously, I mean, just being honest. I mean, seriously, am I not? Is this not correct? And I mean, do you not see the difference in our cultures? We are different, but
well,
that's okay.
let me tell you something.
That's okay.
And it's fine.
okay.
We should celebrate the differences that we have, but I think we should
That's
accentuate
right.
more on the things that we are alike. Now, where
But
do
can
white?
we just say we are
Where
different? Okay.
do you know anything about history? Where is the origin of the human race?
Mesopotamia.
Okay, what continent is that? What
And that is black.
I mean, what continent?
What continent?
Yeah.
On the other side of the world.
No.
African.
It's in Africa. All people, black, white, brown, red, yellow, came from Africa. Every scientist, the Bible, everything says that,
Yes.
teaches that. Now, that means that we're basically the same. But now, once we went to different climates, different topologies, different things, we begin to change our skin color, eye texture, our hair texture begin to change. That's the change. Those are the differences. But people are people no matter when. Once you get to know people, everybody really is the same once you get to know them.
Well, as far as
But
feelings,
when
yeah.
people want to suppress and be superior and tell the lie of superiority for so long that they begin to believe it, then that's where the problem begins.
Well, I don't understand that.
Oh yes, you will agree. We're in the age of white supremacy, right?
Well, there's still some left over.
Well, I know there are a whole
the
lot.
older generation, but not the younger generation.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I see them with swastikas and rubber flags and everything. This thing is like a snake that's so long. It's just it doesn't seem to have an end.
But
You
do
can
not
cut the head
realize
off, but
that
it
there's-
still will grow another one. I don't know.
But don't you realize that was just a small segment of America? And we've got rapists, murderers, we've got all kinds of evil in this world. But for the majority, I think America, speaking as a white person, there's no problem. I mean, we all just want to get along. But I've met black people who have, they call it a white chip on their shoulder, because they're just angry at white people because there's this problem. And so then white people go around and say, well, okay, they're mad. And then that just instigates, all these feelings because you're going, well, what have I done to them? I haven't done anything to them. Why are they mad at me? Because
Laura,
they look
do you consider yourself a racist?
No, I don't.
You don't think so?
I don't. I
You
just
don't
wanna
think
be
you carry?
honest. I don't.
Do you carry racial prejudice in you?
No, well, no.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
it is-
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
But why?
Yeah.
Why do
I
you
don't know
say
why,
that?
but it's there. It's there. And
See, but that's
now
not
I will give you
problem.
credit. I will give you credit. You're going to work on it, and I hope you keep working on it. And you
Well,
work it.
God is
If
love,
you
and that's
work
the
on
bottom
it.
line. Love everyone. That's my motto.
I
That's
wish,
just
and
love.
I wish that was true. But I think if you keep working, you'll be a cute racist. You will. You don't mean
you.
you don't
I
mean to
love
be.
you.
No, you don't mean to be. You want to be, but until you get a true understanding of how mankind really is, and stop living by the propaganda you've been raised to believe and hear all of your life, it won't change. But once you begin to realize and see people as they really are, not the propaganda that comes over the news or that comes over the TV sets or radios or whatever, that's nothing but racist propaganda. But reality is,
Well,
no, I'm just telling you the truth. The reality is, people are people no matter what. But I'm calling out to black people. Let's join together like every other ethnic group on earth have and build our own communities. Not just have a community where the only thing you own and you really don't know is the houses, the mortgage company own those, and have nothing else left in the community but the house and the church. We need to have other things. But it's been wonderful dialoguing with you, Laura.
well, God bless you. And
God bless you.
Yes, God bless you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for calling.
Okay. Have a great day.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. That clears the line. 972-647-1893. Who's next? Two? Let's put that at the end of this segment, right at the end of the segment. Let's go to, where are we after that? One, let's go to Glenn, all righty? Good morning, Glenn.
Good morning. How you doing?
Fine. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I just wanted to touch bases with some of the things you said this morning.
Mm-hmm. Go right ahead.
One, as far as what my Bible teaches me, and you're going to have different views on this subject, same-sex marriage is an abomination.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that different people touched the Bible and took it and wrote it their own way. That's their belief. But my Bible teaches me that it's wrong. Two, I've been in law enforcement for over 10 years. I done been to court I don't know how many times. If that would have been a black man killing a white man.
Killing a white child.
A white child. He'll be in jail.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a hard case to get out of. And I guarantee he'll be either having life in jail or the death sentence.
Mm-hmm.
It's different.
It would be first-degree murder?
First-degree murder, no doubt. It's different stages. You have black people that go to jail. You have white people. You have every race that go to jail. But black people are tried different in the court of law. And until, as a whole, like you say, we get to understand that and get together and fight that, it won't change.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Number three, I don't understand how we let all these people come in our neighborhoods, open up these food restaurants, health supply, and we take our money and spend it with them.
Yeah.
But if you do a research and look at the black people in this world, 65% of the revenue come from us.
Mm-hmm.
We'd rather take our hard-earned money that we bust our butts for and go give it to the other people, and they disrespect us, and we don't say nothing about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like you say, until...
No, they're not even courteous toward us.
Exactly.
They're very discourteous, and we still go in there giggling, skinning and grinning and spending our money, and really don't realize we're oppressing ourselves when we do that.
Exactly. And we have had people march and die for us just to have the right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And until we start showing our younger people and teaching our younger people, and even some older people, what we went through and where we came to, it'll never change.
All right.
It'll never change.
Mm-hmm. All right. We thank you for your call and comment. That clears the line. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 4 and say good morning to, is that Miss Robinson?
Yes, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. I just want to make a short comment
Mm-hmm.
to our people. This is a prime example how a person comes in and try to sidetrack the truth. And we go for it by listening to the listening audience. You were trying to teach us something that needs to be taught.
Thank you.
And just like, for instance, they're going to call you, the young people, black people, going to say you old folkism. We up to part. But they don't realize, see, they need some more teachers. See, they talk about my daddy across the pulpit because he talk about spending your hard money out there in them stores. Quit letting these commercials in these stores get you. Every time you get a dime, you go in and spend it. That's why they can walk and talk and do what they want to do, because they save their money.
That's right.
This girl called in there this morning. She might be up in the 90s, was born. She don't realize what she said. She want to be right. But it's the people who run in the world is not right. It's like you're talking about the voting. They took us a step back. And we look at it as nothing. See,
well, Ms. Robinson, we we seem to be just asleep at the wheel. I don't understand it. You don't hear any conversations about it. You walk by black men. They're going to be talking about sports. They'll be talking about the Cowboys, the Rangers, or the Mavericks, or whoever. They're talking about sports and everything. But this is life.
Right.
This is reality. This is what we are up against.
Right.
And we don't seem to be concerned, none whatsoever. I don't hear enough preaching about it. I don't hear hardly. It's not going to be taught in the school system because many of our teachers have not been educated to teach in that direction, and we're just hanging out there. We the lost generation. What's going on? I mean, I've lived through both sides of the fence, from Jim Crow to civil rights, and we're headed back toward Jim Crow. We're doing a boomerang, and it's sad. But at least in Jim Crow, we knew where we were. Today, we don't seem to know where we are.
I'm telling you, but the system made us lose in our homes with our children. And like I say, it took me a long time to get where I am, but I thank God I can see it on my job. I thank God for my job. But back in the day, in 1973, when I started on this job, it was a job was making a little money in a factory more around here.
Yeah.
So I was making money, was spending it fast that I had more bills than I had money.
Oh my God!
See, I had to come from out.
And that's the way we live. I tell you what, Miss Robinson, we got our job line is hanging right there, and I thank you for your call.
Okay, baby doll, I'm praying for you here.
Okay then, hang in there.
Take care.
All right, let's bring our job line. All righty. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Regent Blvd.
Fine. How are you this morning?
Doing fine.
Yeah.
People got to get we got to get over before we go on.
I don't know, Greg. Sometimes I wonder.
There is enough fight out there for everybody. Matter of fact, the lady that was the first caller that was on the phone, she don't even know it. She should have been part of that in Austin with the rest of the group. And that's she's pro-life or pro-choice. I'm not advocating either one, but there's enough fight for everybody.
There's plenty of fight out there. Yeah.
There's enough fight for everybody. See, I'm going to show you something else, Regent Blvd. The group that's going to be most affected by that strike down of parts of the civil rights bill, you know who that is? Haven't heard a word out of?
Who is that?
Hispanics.
Well, yeah, because they're not gonna pass an immigration reform that's gonna be, if it be something, it's gonna be something that will work against them. And when we see what's coming down the pike, John Boehner, I think, would do it, but that Tea Party is the tail of the dog, but that tail is wagging the whole dog. Really.
That's right. But
the Republicans were key in the Civil Rights Bill.
Well, I'm speaking of, notice what came out. In every race right now, in all the special elections, the Republicans have trotted out a Hispanic candidate. But notice, you're going to have a state-issued ID, either a driver's license or a gun license, and they can enact whatever laws they want to, i.e. literacy tests and all of this. Who is that going to affect most? And some of your newscasters have even said it. That's going to affect them more than anybody.
Well,
they have just
but this is what it's designed to do, is curb that progressive vote. That's really radically changing America. That progressive vote, they're trying to do it. And we as a people who are experienced in civil rights and how to get things done, it's time for us. What I'm so hurt over is, Our young generation is not ready like we were. Man, I've been in civil rights since I was 8 years old. I was cognizant. Look at Greg, we're going to have to take a short break, and we'll do the job line right after the break. And those of you who are hanging on the line, just hang there. I'll be right there to you. We'll be right back.
GoodSearch.com provides a way for you to support nonprofits like KNON with your online shopping and dining. GoodSearch.com offers a downloadable toolbar for searching from your computer called Good App, so your purchases can go to support KNON. With Good Dining, every time you go out to eat at participating restaurants, then a portion of what you spend gets donated to KNON. Registering is easy at GoodSearch.com, and Knon 89.3 is the name to enter in your account settings for charity selection. Support KNON with your online shopping and dining at GoodSearch.com.
KNON is pleased to announce the release of Aaron Burton's latest CD, The Return of Petey Whitestraw, this Sunday, June 30th, upstairs at the Tavern on Main Street in Richardson. Doors open at 4 p.m. and the music begins at 5. Aaron will be doing both a solo acoustic set and then later a full band set. His guest will be the Jason Cloud Band. Included in the ticket price is a barbecue dinner provided by award-winning competition cookers, the Pirates of the Prime Caribbean of Richardson, Texas. Sound and lighting courtesy of DJ Sound and Lighting of Dallas. Big Texas Blues hostess Blue Lisa will be your MC. Seating to this event is limited, so get your tickets now at knon.org or stop in at the Tavern on Main Street, located at 115 East Main Street in Richardson. There's plenty of parking behind the Tavern on Main Street. That's Aaron Burton's CD release party with the Jason Cloud Band and award-winning barbecue from the Pirates of the Prime Caribbean competition cooking team this Sunday, June 30th at the Tavern on Main Street in Richardson. This is a KNON benefit event.
All right, we're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. I've just got some fantastic news. Of all the hours, the 5 hours that we have talk shows on KNON, the most listened to 5 hours on KNON is on Saturday morning doing these talk shows. More people listen to these than anything else that comes on this radio station. They've got the numbers in. All righty, let's go to Greg Barber with our Solution in Action Today job line. Greg, are you still there? Is Greg on too? Was Greg on too? Yeah.
Barnett.
Yeah. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay then. Let's go with our job line. Mm-hmm.
Solutions and Actions Today job line. Every Saturday morning during Church Information and Open Forum here on KNON 89.3, the voice of the people. This morning on the job line, we have Arizona Tile is looking for warehouse associates. They're asking you to apply online at www.arizonatile.com. Once again, that's Arizona Tile is looking for warehouse associates. They're asking you to apply online at www.arizonatile, ARIZONATILE.com. Overhead Door is looking for warehouse workers and drivers. They're asking you to apply online at www.hourlycareers-overheaddoor.icms.com. Once again, Overhead Door is looking for warehouse workers and drivers. They're asking you to apply online at www.hourlycareers-overheaddoor.icms.com. Transportation Security Agency is looking for transportation security officers. The number for inquiry is 877-872-7992. Once again, the Transportation Security Agency is looking for transportation security officers. You can also apply online at www.tsajobs.tsa.dhs.gov. Once again, that web address is www.tsajobs.tsa.dhs.gov. The Old Castle building envelope is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.oldcastlecareers.com. Once again, that web address is www.oldcastlecareers.com. Uline is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.line.com. Once again, Uline is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.uline.com. Traxxas is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.traxxas.com. Once again, that's Traxxas is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.traxxas.com. If you are a child-loving patient and energetic individual and would like to work in the daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. Once again, if you are a child-loving patient and energetic individual and would like to work in the daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. If you are a person affected by addiction and needs assistance with your recovery effort, or an ex-offender trying to make their transition back into mainstream society and need assistance with job searching, the number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. If you are a person affected by addiction and needs assistance with your recovery effort, or an ex-offender trying to make their transition back into mainstream society and needs assistance with job searching, the number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. Let me repeat that. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. Today is also a good day to make a pledge to church information and open forum and follow through with it.
Mm-hmm.
Today is also a good day to make a pledge to church information and open forum and follow through with it. The late Godfather of Soul said, "We're a people, we're like the birds and the bees. We'd rather die on our feet than live on our knees." And with that, we bring our SAT job line to a close.
Thank you, Greg. Great job as always. Great job as always. Mr. Greg Barber, and our Solution in Action Today job line. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of those jobs. Those are good jobs that can be found and be had. Y'all can get those jobs. He makes sure that before he put it on the air, he makes sure that they are hiring. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Where are we on our line? Is that line 3? Where we need to go? Let's go to line 3. Who do we have? Let's go to Tony on line 3. Good morning, Tony. Do I have the wrong person? I have Tony. Tony on line 3. Tony, are you there? Going once, going twice. All righty. Let's go to line 1 and say good morning to Glenn. All righty. Good morning, Glenn.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, Glenn.
This is Reverend Mike, Doctor.
Oh man, we've had so many calls that's coming in. I've gotten this thing. Good morning, Ron. How you doing, man?
I'm blessed, Cam. How you doing? It's a very interesting show. I want to update on some things right quick. First of all, Justice Peter Texas, along with the NAACP statewide and Peter Johnson and stuff were a part of that lawsuit on the Voters' Rights Act.
Right.
We revisited that we had a conference call on Friday to go back and revisit that. As one of the we were very disappointed in the Supreme Court as they put a roadblock to make voting less free, fair, and accessible for the African American community. And Pastor, we realize and understand that this is all about preventing the illegal Hispanic group of people in this country from voting, because eventually they're going to be the majority and take over this voting. And so we're going back to revisit this, unfortunately, off the back of our people who would be like our people are doing today, be silent when things are going on. I listened to your caller earlier, and what she was saying is the mentality and the teaching that they have taught our people to keep us divided and to keep us quiet, and that's why we're in a situation and I thank God for you.
But Reverend Wright, it's the mentality that she taught. She really believes what she believes, because this is what many white Americans have been taught, that we are to be second class. Now, she's not going to come out and say it, and she may not even realize she believed this, and that we should not speak up for our rights. She don't believe that we need to come together and develop our communities and have the things that every other group in America have. And when we start making a rally cry for us to come together, she was struck with fear, thinking as if we are. Why are you calling to fight? I didn't say anything about fighting. I said coming together.
Yeah, everything was about, and I noticed how you were telling us, yeah, we just sending our people to be a voice, and because we need to become a voice that's threatening to you, and that's the mentality, and that's what they taught some of our people, that old Jim Crow mentality, and that's the mentality we got. But I appreciate you in your show for continuing to tell our people, until we become a voice, we're going to continue to struggle. I know people call in, but we need to be about it and not just, sit back silently. But I want to update you on the killing. Young man and young woman got 10 years for killing a cat.
Yeah, Axtine called me, I think that was last night, and told me that a guy killed a cat, threw him out the window, something. He and his girlfriend was fighting or something, threw the cat out the window, and they gave him 10 years for killing a cat.
10 years for killing a cat.
But this time we got in Florida, they trying to get off for killing a black child.
For killing a black child. But, and now we're looking at the district attorney's office. With that being said, Darius Ewan, who was accused of burning the dog at Pleasant Grove, and they said he did it, and animal rights and dog people wanted him to get the maximum sentence. They later arrested 4 more young men in that case. One young man has now confessed to doing that case, and has cut a deal with the district attorney's office. He also shot a young man, and he's on his way to state jail. So the majority of the time he can do is 2 years, but yet Darius Ewan is still sitting in jail, going on a year behind burning the dog. And so we're going to do a press conference.
And someone else confessed to doing it, so they know he didn't do it.
I've already confessed. Yeah, he did it. He took a deal. They cut a deal with him. And so we're going to have a press conference next week and ask the district attorney's office, why is this young man still sitting in jail for a crime that he did not commit?
Yeah. I tell you what, I probably was going to invite you, Peter, and all on, and Clinton, I need you to get me Mark Vesey for next week's show. Get me Mark Vesey, Congressman Mark Vesey, and we got a lot of things to talk about because we need to plan to go to Washington on August 24th. We need to be in Washington. This is going to be another. This one is just as important as it was August 24th, 1963. 2013, we wouldn't believe that, but this is just as important. Fighting for the same things now. Same thing.
Can you imagine? Some 30 or 40 years later, we're repeating the fight that was already the result. Even George Bush on his administration signed the document that would protect the minority vote. And now, because of what the Supreme Court does, the minority vote is going to become diluted.
Yeah, that's right, and that's what they mean to do. All right, thank you, Rev. You have a good day.
I'll see you later.
Okay, all right, talk to you later. All right, 972-647-1893. Is that Robert on 4? All righty. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, Reverend. Good morning.
Good morning, Doc. Where you been, man?
Well, I've been pretty busy, Reverend.
Yeah, you made all that money. You ran off and abandoned us, huh?
No, I fight on a lot of fronts, brother. My fight is not just in Dallas. Mine is all across this country because we're suffering from the same problems all over America. And Life Guide for America is taking off, and it's part of the intervention in communities all over the city. Really, it's taking off more in some of the other cities than Dallas.
Yeah, well, does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't. But I was thinking earlier, Reverend, when you was talking, it brought me back to the early 80s when you were saying the same thing that you're saying now to black people.
That's right.
And we have gotten farther behind. Things have gotten worse. Like what people like Laura now is around, and Laura feels that, black people need to just stay in their place. They need to accept not having economic development, jobs in their community, opportunities, and white people are supposed to continue to be superior over us. When you look at our community, and it was a study that was done by the University of Texas, it shows the economics of Southern Dallas and the economics of Dallas. where North Dallas and other areas, and it shows that all the jobs is north. And if you want to work and you live in the South, you're going to have to go to the north for employment. If you live around Bishop College area, no, you don't have a grocery store. You're going to have to go all the way to Minyards on Ledbetter and Lancaster Road, more than right at 4 miles, and you're not going to have one in your community. You know, all these things that's happening to us, Reverend, we're allowing it to happen to us, because if we listen to what you're saying, that we got to stand up and fight and make a difference in our community, we're going to have to do it. Banks don't loan money to our businesses. Reason why we don't have businesses in our community, because our businesses can't go to banks and borrow money like these in North Dallas. Every business in North Dallas is financed by a financial institution.
Right.
Every business.
Everyone.
You know, but now, if you don't have businesses in your community, you're going to have to go outside your community for employment. If you don't have development in your community, people are not going to come move to your community and live or want to live in your community. If you don't have development in your community, you're going to have more crime than a community that's flourishing with jobs and opportunity.
That's right.
You know, if you go look at the Bishop College area and you see how many people, young people, that ended up not going to Paul Quinn or Bishop College, they went to the penitentiary.
Anytime you have direst poverty, you're going to have despair. And anytime you have despair, you're going to have high crime. It's just one vile thing breeds another. You're not going to get something great out of something that's really a disgrace. And where we are is this thing is self-perpetuating. Go to our communities, we find women with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 children, never had a husband. We find that they're trying their best to survive, and there's not a lot of discipline of the children because she don't have time. She just trying to survive and keep them fed, trying to keep them alive. And this is despair breeding despair.
Right. And then when you have young boys to grow up without a father figure in their life. You know, when the uncle
positive male.
The uncle in the penitentiary. You understand? The dad is not there.
Right.
You know, but now when if you go through Oak Cliff right now and turn on any street in Oak Cliff, in each block you got 2 churches. And you got churches all over our community. But you don't have no productivity, and you still have crime and the lack of economic development. You have all these problems that exist all around these churches. We got to redefine the mission of the church.
Well, you have to come out of the hallowed walls and go into the streets like Jesus did. See, Jesus' church didn't have no walls. Don't know, you know, he had an open door church. He was up and down the streets everywhere. Highways and hedges. Compelling men to come to him and women. And
they're going to get mad at but people get
I don't care about, man, I done got too old to care about people getting mad with me.
But as long as you're right. See, we and then our deal is, it's a sacrifice for us. Because, I mean, you being attacked, I'm being attacked, but we got to continue to fight.
Yeah.
Now, but our leadership.
I tell you what, Robert, I'm up against a break. Thank you for your call. We got you just of it, and call us earlier next time. We can try to get you on the radio. All right then.
Well, I'm gonna have to come be on the show. I'm gonna have to come be on the show. I think.
Oh, you didn't put us down. You made all that money. We ain't. you gone now.
I wish it was like that.
All right then. We got to run. We'll be right back. All right.
You're listening to Knon 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Let's go cruising again. Yes, take another wild and crazy ride with me down the twisted road of Texas Senator Ted Cruz's mind. The new darling of Tea Party Republicans got elected last year in part by stoking right-wing fear that the United Nations is planning to seize America's golf courses. Riding that momentum, Cruz is now gaining national notoriety as a senator who takes extremism to the extreme and beyond. Ted's latest trip swerves through the immigration debate. He uses the personal saga of his father to make the case that there should be no path to citizenship for the millions of undocumented immigrants living here, no matter how much they're contributing to our economy and society. Daddy Cruz, he points out again and again, followed the rules 66 years ago to leave Cuba and became an American citizen. Quote, every step of the way, the elder Cruz recently affirmed in a radio interview, I have been here legally. Well, not every step. Rafael Cruz admits that he only got here by bribing a Cuban official. Technically speaking, that's illegal. Still, father and son both tear up in telling how Rafael got a job, eventually going on to start a small business and to work towards the American dream. Unmentioned in this soaring Horatio Alger tale is that Rafael did all of that American dream stuff in Canada, where he became a citizen and where Ted was born. In fact, Rafael did not become an American citizen until 2005, nearly half a century after leaving Cuba. What took him so long? I don't know, the father now says, adding ruefully, I guess laziness. This is Jim Hightower saying, really? How does that rationalize slamming America's door in the face of other hardworking immigrants? I guess Ted thinks they should have bribed their way to America.
Yo, what's up? I'ma kick it with the line, y'all know. Yo, Slim, can I kick it like that? Here we go. Well, it's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven up above. Chicken from tea is simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying? What?
It's time.
Yep.
Time to make the change.
Here we go.
We are the people who can do it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're back on the second hour of Church Information in an Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, and we got Clint and Doc here producing this morning. I spoke with Marvin Winans Monday night. I said, man, you brought me on the air for 27 years. He got to laugh, and he said, I wasn't singing 27 years ago. I was just a little bitty boy. No. You might have had some hair on your head, but you were around. 27 years ago, we both had some hair. But for 27 years. And we got great news that this is the most listened to hour on KNON. And KNON is one of the top radio stations. On this Saturday morning, yes, we are modulating strong on our numbers are way up there. And I tell you what, this is for free. If I were you and had a business, and I would take underwriting out on these talk shows, because the type of people that listen to a talk show, these usually are people, many of them have money. Well, all of them have money, but many of them have buying power. There's great buying power. You want to get your name out there. There's time to discuss you and different things like that. I would buy underwriting on KNON and ask for the talk shows. Definitely the 7 to 9 show. If you get my drift. I would ask for time on that show. All righty? 972-647-1893. What's 2 is next. Let's go to Ike on line 2. All righty. Thank you for holding, Ike. How you doing this morning?
Doing great this morning. I'm gonna try to be short. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to be brief because I know you got a lot of callers because it took me a long time to get in.
Mm-hmm.
But let me talk about the voters' rights act that they just gutted. First of all, can you hear me?
I hear you. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Reverend Wright was talking about this young man that got 36 years for killing a kid, throwing it out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got to look at that judge. The judge said that the man used a deadly weapon, and the deadly weapon was the pavement which is the street side where the cat fell to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're going to put that kind of then what he's saying is anything that he wants to say in his court, he's making it out of the law.
Do you know, Ike? Do you know the name of this judge?
No, I'm gonna try to find out.
If somebody's listening and know who this judge is that gave this young man what was 10 years for killing a cat. Now that's cruel, right? Now don't get me wrong. I hate to hear that happen. But 10 years for a cat?
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That judge probably is an elected official. So that's
if he's a judge, he is an elected official, and we need to find out who he is.
And we need to start voting these kind of people out. You know, I had an incident that when I was on jury duty, the judge that was presiding over the case was a retired judge. And my question to him was, if you're a retired judge and we just had an election, so you telling me that once we have an election and someone see they're going to lose the election, they can retire and still preside over cases. And he got upset and asked me did I have a problem with the law. It's not the law I have a problem with, it's the problem with who's writing the laws. Because this Voter Rights Act is going to give these judges, these politicians, these governors, or whoever that's involved in the law, where they can come out to you, and by the time, you get your day in court, whatever they done is over with, you don't suffer the damages.
That's right. That's right.
That's what we got to understand about what happened in the Voters' Rights Act. Another thing they killed was the ethics bill, where these politicians, these lobbyists, these people, they don't have to tell you who's funding, where they getting their money from. We see the Koch brothers tried to upseat the President Obama by buying the election, so they don't have to tell people where this money is coming from. So I'm gonna get off the air and let somebody else talk. But if we don't start fighting, and by that I mean using what abilities we have to vote and to keep stuff in policies in place, I heard that Congressman Mark Beasy, filed a lawsuit here in Texas, and if he's gonna get a petition or whatever he's gonna do, I want to be a part of it.
Well, we're going to try to have we'll probably have him on next Saturday. I should have had him on today, but I really want. It was so many issues. I really want to hear what y'all had to say about it. Don't worry, we'll try to get him on, and I think we will. And because believe me, none of these issues are going anywhere soon. They'll be there next week just as well as they are here today.
They're gonna be there forever if we don't do something about them. But go ahead and I want to say this one more thing. I'm gonna get off there. You said that you have the most popular talk show, or y'all get y'all ratings up high because of the talk shows in the morning, and you got one of the best. Now you see why somebody tried to buy your 2-hour spot. God bless you and have a great day.
Well, other folks look at numbers. They are looking at numbers. Yeah. All righty. Thank you. Thank you for your call and comment. They clears the line, 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 3 and say good morning to Reverend Moss. All righty. Good morning, Reverend Moss.
Good morning, Dr. Barnett. How you doing?
Fine. You doing all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm blessed. I'm loving this show. I'm loving this talk.
Thank you.
Listen,
Thank you.
I'm from back in the 1940s. So
all righty.
I've been here a while.
You were born in the 40s?
I was born in the 40s.
I was too.
Okay. Now, listen. The lady that called in, she don't understand riding in the back of the bus, drinking out of white and colored fountains and all. They don't understand all of that. So we know where we came from. We know where we are today. And we do have a fight, but we got to know what we're fighting for and who we're fighting against.
Fight a good fight.
That's right. We still have some Jim Crows around, and we still have some Klans around. They just don't have on the hood. They have on the black robes now.
Yeah, and they have 3-piece suits on. Yes.
Yes, sir. That's right. And so is the same-sex marriage. I'm not going to go against what God don't like. I believe in loving everybody and treating everybody with respect, but I'm not going to say it's okay. Let them do what they want to do. It's not right, and I'm going to still preach against that. It's not right. It's abomination unto God, and I'm not going to stop saying it.
Okay.
And another thing, I don't hear preachers preaching about hell no more. If they don't change that, And they do that, they're going to hell for doing that.
Now, you're a preacher, and I can say this to you. But now, some of our brothers is gone to the ridiculous now. They're telling people God got something laid up for you, and I'm sure he has for everybody. But you are not gonna, nobody's just gonna come give you something.
No.
You gotta work for it. Now, the Bible teaches that. You earn your living by the sweat of your brow.
By the sweat of your brow.
And you got a blessing with your name on. Yeah, but you got to get up and go to work for it.
You got to go to work for it.
And we got people sitting around and waiting for somebody to come drop something off at their house. And no, if you're praying, you got to put some feet to those prayers and get up and go get it. This theology is not really theology. It's really almost satanic, and our people love it.
That's right.
They love this mystery theology, what I call it, that is something out there for you. It is, but you got to go get it.
That's right. And Dr. Brown, let me say this, and I'm going to get off. This lady that I would listen to years ago on another station, they had the same kind of similar talk, and she was a black woman. And they was talking about different churches and the preachers, and she made a statement. She said that a black preacher couldn't preach to her and couldn't tell her nothing, so she go to a white church. But now I'm going to tell all the black people that's listening right now on this radio that hear Elder Moss, a white preacher is not going to teach you about your heritage or where you come from.
That's right.
He's not going to teach you that.
Oh, you're so right.
And he's not going to agree with a black man marrying a white woman in his congregation. And may God bless you, preacher.
All right. All right, 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go. We're line one. Let's say good morning to Raymond. All righty?
Yes, how you doing?
Good morning, Raymond.
Rev, this is Raymond Dotson.
All righty. Raymond Dotson.
I'm a member of Macedonia Baptist Church under the auspice and supervision of Pastor Vaughn, Reverend Vaughn.
All right.
Now, I've listened to the lady go from the racist statements to not knowing who she is. And my take on that is, if she didn't qualify for liking blacks, why would she be listening to a black radio station? Now,
well, she said she was scanning, and she found us on the air.
She was listening. Believe me, she listens, or she wouldn't have got involved. Now, well, I heard the man talking about judges and about people sending people to prison 10 years for this and this and that. Now, I want to tell you a story. I want you to listen to this real good. In 1990, I was accused of a crime I did not commit, a perjury. The man told the police to let me go. I hadn't done anything. When the man walked away, the police took me downtown anyway. And while down there trying to fight the case, the judge, the district attorney at the time that was sending a lot of people to prison, she gave me 25 years. And Judge Faith Johnson, a black judge, signed that paper. When I seen her name on it, I immediately wrote her. She called me to her chambers and told me all she could do is drop it from 25 years to 15. And I said, but you know I didn't do it. You know what she said? Well, Mr. Dawson, you just going to do 18 months to come home. I said, but I'll be kicked around for 15 years. Now, let me tell you what happened with that entire saga. Since 1990, I had been on parole all the way up to 2013. That 15-year sentence went to 2013. But several times I was accused of something I didn't do behind that one case. And they kept sending me to prison behind that case. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
They kept violating me. I finally got off parole this past January 5th. But for the last 23 years, I've been trying to get somebody, Innocent Project, Joyce Ann Brown. I've been trying to get everybody in this country to help me fight this case and find that man that told those police to let me go. That's all they have to do. But everybody tells me, oh, it got to be a DNA case. My case don't involve DNA. It involved one man that told those police to let me go, and those police. And I firmly believe...
Was this in Dallas?
In Dallas, right over there on Tyler. I firmly believe if somebody find that man and bring those police to court and bring Judge Faith Johnson to court, I firmly believe that that case would be thrown out too. Because that case has been causing me problems.
You made a statement that Judge Johnson
Judge Faith Johnson
knew that you were innocent?
She knew it. She dropped it from 25 to 15 years ago and tell me, well, Mr. Dawson, all you can do is 18 months to come on. I said, but I've been kicked around for 15 years and I didn't commit this crime. She said, that's the best I can do. I said, I can't take this. I can't do it.
Okay, what did she mean by that's the best she could do if she knew you were innocent?
She knew I was innocent. She knew it. She knew it. Yeah, but, and that's why she dropped it to 15, or she wouldn't have dropped it. She knew I was innocent. And I kept writing her. I kept writing various people.
Well, okay, why do you think she did not speak up and do what was right?
Judge Faith Johnson, I have no idea. She did this, okay? I was accused several times of drugs I didn't have, violated when they found me innocent two times on charges. They still violated me. They kept taking street time from me, sending me to prison. That little
I tell you what, at the
23 years ago. Let me give you my phone number.
Well, no, don't give it over there. Put him on hold, Clint, and
no, don't put me on hold yet, because I still got more.
No. Well, see, all of our lines are full. Everybody wants to talk.
Okay.
Yeah, and
please let me say this one thing. A lot of our problems right now don't just involve, as everybody's saying, the white man doing this, white man doing that. Now, most of our problems is Hispanics. Because every one time one become a manager or supervisor, he's not going to hire none but Hispanics.
Well, everybody do that. Everybody look out for themselves but us.
Everybody's doing that.
No. We don't look out for ourselves. You give us a job, here we go, trying to be fair and how this, how that, and do everything. And the man, and many times we get an opportunity, we don't take advantage of it. Now we've got $1.3 trillion flowing through our hands right now that they know about, and probably that much more that they don't know about. But what are we doing? I'm not going to point my finger and put anybody else down for looking out for themselves. I'm just trying to tell us, let's start looking out for ourselves. We are a people, whether we like each other or not, we're going to survive and thrive, or else go under like fools separated. I'm just telling you now, that's just the way it is. All right, thank you for your call. Thank you. All right, that clears the line, 972-647-1893. Let's go with the line 4, Reverend Crenshaw. All righty, good morning, Rev.
How you doing, man?
Fine, how are you this morning?
I'm doing fine. I know you have an instant show on this morning.
Thank you.
You know, European Americans, along with every other ethnic stock, are in tune, and they simply love and they're in tune with our cooking. Persons of color do good cooking. They love black folks dancing. They love black folks singing. They love black folks entertaining. They love blacks. They love to give the blacks the high five. It comes from us. Salute one with right hand, and one slaps the left hand of the other person. And don't fool yourself. They love our youngsters. As far as rap music is concerned, it's bigger than country and western. But the reason they do that, you got a lot of Italian kids. They love our music, and they can't say.
But have you noticed there's a hidden love that's always been there?
Yeah.
Listen to your commercials. They'll go back and play the old songs, the Temptations,
that's right.
the Supremes. They go back and the Four Tops, many of the great stars. But back in those days, back in the 60s and 70s, you didn't know white people was listening to that music.
No, you didn't.
They bought the records, but they kept them at home, and they wouldn't let you know that they were listening, but they were listening because God has gifted us. We're the oldest people on earth.
Right.
We have rhythm. We have a sound. We have a mastery over music. God has given us that. Right. And many other things we have a mastery over. People will really would really love to usurp what we have. But it's a God-given gift. You just can't buy it. You just can't teach it to yourself. Break time, and it's just one of those things. I tell you what, I'm up against a short break, and we'll be back. At 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Be right back.
In 2012, the Salvation Army sheltered 6,386 homeless men, women, and children, provided over 190,000 hours of substance abuse rehabilitation, and provided day camps and sports programs for needy children. They operated over 200 apartments for low-income seniors, and they provided over $400,000 in financial assistance to those in need. Chances are very good that you know someone who relied upon these services for shelter, recovery, or other forms of emergency help when life for them made a wrong turn. If you are in need, or to find out how you can help, 1-800-SALARMY. That's 1-800-725-2769, or on the internet at salvationarmyusa.org.
When they're gone for good. This is Scott from Knon's Texas Blues Radio telling you don't miss out on some great blues. Knon's Texas Blues Radio Volume 5 Blues CD. It's a CD put together by real blues fans for real blues fans like you. Texas Blues Radio Volume 5 features great local blues from Michael J. and the Paul Bird Band, JJ and the Detonators, the Chris Watson Band, the Two Tones, Rough Cut Blues Band, Jeff Stone with Charlie Love, Dave Millsap, Sirloin and the Ass Kicking Machine, Tutu Jones, Blues Boy Bo, Buddy Whittington, Andrea Dawson, Kirkland James, Sonny Colley, and Johnny Red and the Roosters. Get a copy now at Forever Young Records in Grand Prairie, Recordtown in Fort Worth, and in Dallas at Bill's Records. This is a Dallas Blues collector's item. A very limited amount of vinyl copies can be found at Forever Young Records, the sponsor of this great blues project. CD downloads are available at cdbaby.com. Whether you get it as a download, on vinyl, or on CD, all the proceeds will benefit KNON. For more info on Texas Blues Radio Volume 5, visit knon.org.
All right, we are back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. And you can reach us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. We're looking at, they gutted the Voting Rights Act. 2013. 2013. It's been gutted. Trayvon Martin trial. To me, it's a farce. It's a joke. Switch the situation around. This thing would have been over a long time ago, cut and dry. This fella, if he didn't get the chair, he would have gotten a life sentence without a parole had it been a black man killing a white child. For no reason at all. Only he says he had no business there. Well, this is America, people. Wake up. Stand up for your rights. Wherever you go in America, you've got some business there. If it's not private property just telling you to keep off, if it's public property, you've got business there. And he was there to see his father. His father was there. This is a sad situation. You would have a charade called a trial with this going on. And gay rights. Everybody getting their rights with us. We having ours taken. I'm not angry with anybody, but can you see? Everybody is doing well. The Senate passed a bill that would give immigrants in America an opportunity to become citizens. Everybody getting theirs. But us, we're getting stepped on. Because we are apathetic. We are apathetic. It's ridiculous. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Where are we? Line 2? Is that Tony? Is that Tony on line 2? Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Rev. How you doing?
Fine. How are you this morning?
All right. I want to talk about the Voting Rights Act.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it is. I'm going to go counter to what you're saying about it. I think it is a good thing to have. You know why? Because now you get to see and test the metal of Generation X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens now. Because now, you know, your generation did their thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so sometimes it takes a long time to appreciate what other people have done.
And in fact, I hear young people criticize our generation. We don't need that marching and stuff anymore. We got all the rights we need and everything. And Tony, this scares me for the simple fact that this young generation is not ready to fight. They're not war ready. They're not war ready. We were ready. We were born in apartheid or whatever you want to call it. We were born in worship, severe discrimination. We were ready to fight. But these youngsters today, they're not ready to do anything, because if they start fighting, the pants going to fall off. So they're just not ready.
Well, and I agree with part of what you're saying is true. We're not ready. Now, I would say this. Casey, when it came out, Casey put on Facebook that it's time for us. So, I let that be known. Now, one thing I challenge Casey on is this. We have a lot of black officials who are under the age 40, They have elected office, they're in school boards and stuff like that. I want to see if these people even mention or even have this conversation just like the people in your generation had. And I'm willing to bet that they're not. So the reason is, number one, most of them grew up around white people, and they don't like to vote and become, not enemies, but have that kind of conflict with a fellow council person or their school board personnel, because most of those positions are not non-political. And I'm willing to bet that if you as on record, all the black, not the John Water Price, not the Watts West, because that generation is almost gone. I'm asking all the young political people who ran and lost their opinion on what's going on and what they're doing. I guarantee you they're not going to make a stance on it. It might be a post-racial world in their eyes, but that's what I think the position they're going to have.
A post-racial world now?
No, I think to me, they're going to have that stance.
It's a post-racial world.
Yeah, because in a sense, okay.
But now, who failed to teach these young people? People only know what they're being taught. They haven't been taught.
True.
My generation fumbled the ball, I guess, because they were trying to hide our past from our young people, because we are ashamed of our past, that we were discriminated. But we should have been proud of how our generation, people in our generation, I'm not going to say our generation, people in our generation, because there was many even back then didn't stand up. They were, nervous and everything else even then. But the history should have been taught, should have been passed on, and it has not. We have not demanded it to be taught in our schools. We don't teach it in our churches. We don't teach it nowhere, hardly. Very few places is our history being taught, and children don't want to hear it because they think it's irrelevant to their survival or to their thriving as a people. They think it's irrelevant. They don't realize it's the key. It's the catalyst for them to move forward.
Well, I'm in this last point. Mm-hmm. I told my mother this, and she's 64, 65. I said this, you were taught to go to school, get an education, get a job.
Right.
The issue is not that. The problem was owning and becoming entrepreneurs. And what happened to us is we fed into the pipeline to the white American dream of get a house, have a family, and be settled with that. And the problem is, like you said earlier at 7 o'clock, we need the banks. We need a home ownership. We need entrepreneurs. We need the doctors in our neighborhood. I'm seeing all this, the warehouse being built south of town now. But where are the corporate offices and campuses? With all this land, you would think, okay, you have all these professional white-collar white-collar professionals here. You go to North Dallas, you see warehouses, but you also see high-rise buildings.
Well, let me explain something to you. The reason why a lot of that was not incorporated back in those days, because we as African Americans did own businesses then. Mm-hmm. See, I'm older than your mother, according to the age that you've given. Mm-hmm. And we had businesses. We did business with one another. But somehow we let the grass seem to be a little greener on the other side. And once we so-called integrated, we stopped doing business with ourselves to go do business with other people, thinking we were becoming mainstream real Americans when we didn't realize we were real Americans when we cared something about one another and did businesses with one another and taught one another and worked together, lived together. That's when we were really more respected then than we are now. Believe it or not, we were respected. They didn't like us. They fought against us, but we won many battles. Every battle that we fought, we won because we had respect. Don't nobody respect us now. You see how the Supreme Court, everybody else is kicking us in the tail because they realize we don't have sense enough to stick together.
True.
That's what's going on. Thank you, Tony, for your call. All righty, 972-647-1893. Let's go to James on line 3. Good morning, James.
Yes, good morning, Reverend Barnett.
Fine, how are you?
Yes, sir. I appreciate all that's been said this morning on your program. Well, I have a lot of things to say. I'm going to try to say them real quick, but I would like for all the callers that's been calling in, let's all come together and meet somewhere and become one force, united, and we can get some of these issues that we've been talking about done. If you can get everybody's phone number and just call everybody, let's really meet.
Well, when we look at what happened, we went to sleep 2010. We allowed, just because we had elected African-American president, we thought the fight was over.
Yes, sir.
And the man said, no, the fight has just begun. And when we did not go to the polls in 2010, and stand up and we allowed these Tea Partiers and everything else, Klansmen and everything else to get elected, we then began to realize how the American government runs. Remember, the legislative branch is just as powerful as the executive branch. And is your radio on?
Yes, it's on.
I'm getting feedback from it.
I'm away from it now.
Okay. The legislative, judicial, and executive branches are all equal. One can sometimes circumvent the other, and really, to my own opinion, the most powerful of the three branches is that judicial branch, because they can overrule the president. They can change things and reinterpret what the legislation made and have made, and they're very powerful. And the Supreme Court have always been a key catalyst in our survival and moving forward. You remember Plessy versus Ferguson, that particular ruling, just many things. See, they still fighting Roe versus Wade. That started right here in Dallas. This woman was, what was her name, Norma something. She sued Henry Wade, our district attorney. All this started here in Dallas. The Supreme Court is very powerful.
Yes, sir.
It seems like
we've been hearing that cry about the South would rise again, and the Tea Party is a good foundation for that. And they keep talking about we're going to take our country back, and this is what's actually happened. Like you said, when we went to sleep, and we seem to still be sleeping now. All these civil rights organizations, the NAACP and the ministerial alliances, the preacher has their thumb on our families, our monies, and our minds in our community. And as earlier callers have said, if the church quit being afraid and we come together and let's hit the streets, some of us may be shot down or whatever, but that's all part of civil rights and standing up for what's right. And you know, in the greatest revolutionist was Jesus Christ, and he said, I am the way. So if whatever happened to Jesus for justice and freedom and for all, you can expect that. I'm willing to go that route if I have to, because I'm tired of what's going on and happening to our women, children, and our families, you know, and people coming in our community, setting up business, robbing us, and we just letting it happen.
Well, you're so right. You're so right. You're so right. I don't know. Why is our pulpit why are they so silent about this?
They claim in God we trust. I can do all things through Christ. Greater is He than in me. But they need to quit lying and saying that if you don't believe it, because Sunday morning we're going to have more preachers in town and at funerals than we have people that's helping people. They need to either shut the church doors and shut up, or a bunch of them are nothing but Judas's pimps. And another one like Peter, woman by the wrong fire. They need to sit down somewhere, and like Brother Wynn say, they wasn't called to preach the Lord was calling them to get their lives together. So many up there thinking they were called to preach, and the Lord was calling them to get their lives together, and that's what they really need to do, and then try to do the Lord's way. If you're not doing it Jesus' way, he say you're a robber or a thief. Now, they can pick their choices no matter how upset they get with me.
All righty. We thank you for your call and comment. All right, that clears the line, 972-647-1893. Let's go to Dion on line 4, all righty? Good morning, Dion.
Good morning. How you doing?
Fine. How are you this morning?
I'm blessed this morning at work. I just wanted to call in for the young people. I'm 26 years old, and I don't feel like we've been involved and that we're not involved. And I heard you say something that I was waiting on the line to say as far as our older generation not teaching the younger generation or making us ready. I don't feel like our generation, like we have leaders. Our leaders are rappers and football players, and that we're not prepared for the civil rights movement of 2013 and moving on forward.
Why do you think your generation haven't been taught by the older generation? Why do you think the older generation did not teach y'all?
I feel like the older generation, maybe because of the things that they did fight for, and the things that we were granted because of that fighting, that they got comfortable. And it's not perfect, but it's better than it was, so let's just let it be. That's the kind of mentality I think it is. And that the racism and the things that they're doing these days are not as subtle and upfront as they were doing in those days. So it's kind of behind the scenes stuff that's going on, but not necessarily behind the scenes, but they don't mainstream it for us to see it. It's mainstream.
So you're saying they became at ease in Zion, okay? But now, will the young generation, do you think it's too late for y'all to get up, catch up, and carry the ball forward?
I'm not sure if it's too late. I just think we need to stand up. I think it's time. I don't think it's too late, but I think it's time that we open our eyes to what's really going on, and that we're able to see what's really going on. These people are taking rights that our grandparents and our parents fought for. These people are still having trials that are of race and getting away with things like the Zimmerman trial you guys are talking about. He's on trial for murder too, and I don't see how he can be on trial for murder too, and it's blatantly a hate crime. And it's blatantly
it was blatant. It was a racist crime.
Exactly. So it should be already a capital murder case because it's a hate crime. And had it been a homosexual that got killed, or something else, and this is premeditated murder. They always get away. He's following this kid. They're telling him to run. He went out and chased this guy. So I don't even understand how this is a murder 2 trial, and how they're just slapping us and spitting us in the face right now in 2013, even with the African American president.
That's because we are allowing it.
Exactly.
This is why it is happening. We are allowing this to happen, and believe me, change the circumstances with this trial. It would have been over a long time ago. This guy would have probably gotten a life sentence without parole a long time ago. It wouldn't be going through all of this that's happening. And they did not choose not one African American juror. There are 5 white women, 1 Hispanic woman. I don't know. Maybe those women are mothers, and they said 5 of them are mothers, and they would have remorse and can have a fair trial. But at the same time, you as a black male, anytime, many times, you walk close to a white woman, the first thing she grabs is her purse when she see you, and there's a good chance you might have more money in your pocket than she has. So I don't know how this thing gonna come out. All right, thank you for your call and comment. Let's go to line 1. Let's try to get line 1 in right quick before we go to break. All right. Good morning. Who is this? Mike?
Regent Barnett. Hello.
Fine. How are you?
Just fine, sir. Bless your shows as you're helping us to all see. I just had 2 comments on what's going on here in the Dallas area, the issues and our solutions. Very simply, our 2 deepest hurtful issues or the McComas trash dump on the historical Black College property,
Mm-hmm.
and the Robert E. Lee Public Park right there at Lemon and Turtle Creek.
Right.
Those two things are our most hurtful issues. Our most beautiful solutions are to reach out to Don Hill and support Don Hill, and by giving we receive 10 times 7 times 7.
Mm-hmm.
Let us reach out to Don Hill and say, brother, we love you.
Well, he's filed an appeal, haven't he?
Sir?
Hasn't he filed an appeal?
Sir, he's innocent. But we need to support.
I tell you what, Mike, just hang on. I'm up against a break.
Let us support Terrell Bolton. Let us reach out to Brother Bolton, and we will receive 7 times 7 what we give Brother Bolton.
Okay, then. All right, thank you, Mike. I'm up against a short break, and we'll be right back.
Tornadoes, wildfires, hurricanes. News of catastrophes creates a need for volunteers. The Mass Care Task Force is a volunteer group that helps after these catastrophes. The Mass Care Task Force is a collaboration of the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, the North Texas Food Bank, and the Volunteer Center of North Texas. Become a pre-trained disaster volunteer who is ready to help before disaster strikes. For more information on becoming a disaster volunteer, the website is forcefortexas.com. A message from KNON and the Mass Care Task Force.
KNON is pleased to announce the release of Aaron Burton's latest CD, The Return of Petey Whitestraw, this Sunday, June 30th, upstairs at the Tavern on Main Street in Richardson. Doors open at 4 p.m. and the music begins at 5. Aaron will be doing both a solo acoustic set and then later a full band set. His guest will be the Jason Cloud Band. Included in the ticket price is a barbecue dinner provided by award-winning competition cookers, the Pirates of the Prime Caribbean of Richardson, Texas. Sound and lighting courtesy of DJ Sound and Lighting of Dallas. Big Texas Blues hostess Blue Lisa will be your MC. Seating to this event is limited, so get your tickets now at knon.org or stop in at the Tavern on Main Street, located at 115 East Main Street in Richardson. There's plenty of parking behind the Tavern on Main Street. That's Aaron Burton's CD release party with the Jason Cloud Band and award-winning barbecue from the Pirates of the Prime Caribbean competition cooking team this Sunday, June 30th at the Tavern on Main Street in Richardson. This is a KNON benefit event.
All right, we're back. This is our last segment, and you can reach us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. This is our last segment, and you can reach us at that particular number and have your say. Remember, the clock, whether you know it or not, whether the national news is reporting it to you, the clock has been turned back in America on certain groups of people. We as African Americans, we are one of those groups that the clock has been turned back on in America. If you don't be careful, they're going to rescind the Civil Rights Bill. Oh yes, they're headed in that direction. They mean to turn this thing back all the way around. Jim Crow the Third. He's alive and well now. Jim Crow III, he's become a young adult. Jim Crow is dead. Jim Crow Jr. has fizzled out. Jim Crow III is about to raise his head. And if we don't do something about it, we don't fight back, we must forever be vigilant about our rights. We can never get to the point where we can sit back and be at ease. And no. Because those who would be against us, they never stop. They never take a break. They never take a vacation. They're forever after us. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line, which one? Which line is it? Line 3? Who is that, Casey? Yeah, bring me a Casey on 3. All right. Good morning, Casey.
Good morning, Pastor Boy. How you doing?
Fine. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. Good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just as disheartened and disappointed as everybody else with the ruling of the Supreme Court, specifically as it relates to Section 4 of the Voting Rights Act. But you know what? I think this is an opportunity. This opportunity to do two things. This opportunity to educate the younger generation of why the Voting Rights Act was necessary. It's also an opportunity to engage and build and invite younger generation of activists to build the younger generation, next generation of activists behind this particular effort. It's going to take all of us. You know,
Casey, before you go any further, let me ask you something. You're in education. What do you teach?
Math.
You're a mathematician. Have you seen, do you know of any of the history teachers that's geography or civics teachers that are in your school? Do you talk with any of them?
All the time. I used to teach history.
You used to teach history. All right. What was in y'all's books? What did y'all teach? What was it?
Well, depending if you're talking about Texas history, U.S. history, there is we talked about the history of Texas, how Texas came about, how the United States came about. There's a small slither of discussion in terms of civil rights movement as it happened here in Texas, and then also the civil rights movement as it happened across the United States. But this is the main thing. If I can say, I don't know where you're going, but we recently, just a few years ago, right here in Texas, when they were looking at determining what the history standards were going to be, we recently had a lot of the standards roll back or erase, the things of that nature. They even wanted to take people like Thurgood Marshall out of the curriculum here in Texas. So
now Texas leads the nation. Texas leads the nation when it comes to books. The nation follows Texas. The whole United States follows Texas.
Right.
And when we see that we're getting this revisionist history about slavery and what happened in America, what happened during the civil rights movement, from the very beginning, it was watered down. And you're going to water that down, dilute that even worse. Our young people will definitely never have a real background and never have real roots from whence they came, because many of them in their homes won't be taught because their parents don't know. What's being taught in history today? Is it anything that we can hang our hat on that can just snap some of our young people to start thinking and go and start digging for themselves about our history?
Well, I'm not gonna go down that road, because I think we can get more value out of talking about what we can do as a community.
Yeah, but we can't get any value out of it if we don't know our past.
Well, there are people here like yourself and people who've been involved in local movements for years, who are and who have the knowledge and who are willing to share that. And that's what, more than anything else, I wanted to make this call this morning about, is anybody that you know, in general or of the younger generation. I was really glad to hear the 26-year-old brother who called a few minutes ago. I wish he would have left his number, because, the first step to activism or being active is being conscious. His consciousness has been raised now as a result of what's going on across the country. I want them to, anybody who I just spoke about, who falls in that category, I want them to get with you, Pastor Barnett, and then I'm gonna get with them, because what we've got to do, because I'm in the generation, I'm in the middle. I'm in the generation that was not involved in the movement, but is old enough to understand what took place in the movement, and have picked up the mantle. And
if you don't mind me asking, how old are you, Casey?
I'm 40.
Oh, you just a baby. Lord have mercy. You 40 years old?
That's why I say.
Yeah, no, you're oh my God, you're 10 to 15 years removed from the real movement. But and I thought you were old enough to really have some remembrance. You wasn't even born. Where were you born, in 73?
72.
72? Things were fading. You wouldn't have been old enough to remember a lot of the things that have happened to have the mindset to really realize how vicious and horrible things were back in that day, and don't
right.
And
but what I did,
yeah.
What I did have Pastor point is I had a father who was looked at and well respected in this community as a black historian who was born in the prayer in Dallas, Texas, who made sure that I understood at his feet what took place and why it was important. That's why I am who I am. That's why I'm involved this level I'm involved, because my father made sure, even though I didn't live it or experienced it,
he
made sure that I understood it.
Well, he was a good man.
Because of that, I have a responsibility to those who are coming behind me, like the young man who called in, who now say, you know what, I didn't know, but I do now. So I'm reaching out, as active or as a political action chair, other Dallas. I'm political action chair, other Dallas NAACP. I was on a recent conference call that they had about this particular thing, and so I asked the president, with her permission, Dr. Juanita Wallace, to let me run in this lane with her guidance and direction to make sure that here in Dallas that we galvanize support to take some type of decisive action regarding the decision that was made, and from that action we'll begin to grow the next generation of activists right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
And Dr. Wallace is a good president. She is a fighter. I give her credit. She's a strong fighter, and I wish we get more support for Dr. Juanita Wallace. She's really got her head on right. All righty. Thank you, Casey. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 2 and say good morning to Willie. See if Willie's still there. He's been holding so long. Yeah. Willie, are you there? I didn't know if Willie would still be there. We got callers been holding so long. Good morning. You on KNON?
Hey.
Yeah.
Just want to elaborate what y'all talking about. Hey, man.
Is this Willie? All right.
Yeah.
Good morning, Willie.
Okay. Hey, man. America's great. But our youngsters now, on the forward, they got to listen and want to go forward. They got to quit calling one another nigger. Uh-oh, I shouldn't have said that. That N-word, they disrespecting themselves and try to get hold to quit living that fantasy world. Think somebody going to give them something, it's going to take hard work, and they can't get out there and keep bringing these people's property out there, and it ain't nothing happen. You gotta go get their own stuff. That's what it's all about. Stand up and be America, man. All right.
All righty, Willie. We thank you. Thank you for your call. Thank you for your concern. Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna give them nothing.
All right, Willie. Okay. All righty. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Wow. I guess the liquor store's open earlier now. 972-647-1893. All right. Who we have on? Is that Liz? Okay. Good morning, Liz.
Hello?
Yes. Go right ahead. Are you Don or Liz?
This is Don.
All right, Don. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, great. How are you?
Fine.
Yeah. Reverend Barnett, it's just my opinion. Over the years, I've looked at a lot of things, experienced a lot of things, and had the privilege to have some great jobs and get into some arenas that I never thought I would be in. But one of the things that I find out a lot of times, there are a lot of white people who are ignorant to the struggles that black people have, simply based on a lot of times I'll be on an airplane. You see a lot of blacks on the plane, business attire, doing things, traveling aboard. Black people live in $400,000 homes. They drive luxury cars. So when you started talking about, when we try to portray ourselves as strugglers and on the bottom end of the thing, I don't think they actually look at that way. And our kids, they don't understand the struggle that we had. And when they look at their parents and see their parents doing well,
they don't get that. You know, some of our kids been on vacations all their lives. They always had cars. They've always been able to go places and do things, you know. So I guess maybe they're confused.
How could they be confused when they realize that they've got friends that's going to go before the criminal justice system and get railroaded? How can they be confused when they see that they have, even in suburbs that are predominantly African Americans, the schools all of a sudden fall to pieces once they become the majority in that district, in that particular school district? How can we become confused when they see so many of their relatives and friends living in poverty? How many African Americans you know live in $400,000 houses? They're very minuscule compared to the number of whites in America. See, there is sometimes we put on blinders to make sure we don't see, we don't want to see.
Well, no, don't now. I don't have blinders on because I made an effort beyond the call of duty to bring blacks on when I was a manager for a major corporation one time. Good. And it worked for a while, but I had problems, you know, just like anybody else had problems. Now, as far as you looking out for other blacks and everything, we're not here by ourselves. You get on these people's jobs and start running their companies. You can't start discriminating against folks just because she's black and you the manager there. You can't do that.
What do you mean?
I mean, you just can't hire all black.
Who said hire all black?
But you can't do that. Well, look at Reverend Barnett. If you look at our businesses, most black-owned.
And this is the mentality I see with many blacks who get those positions. You get scared.
No.
You're getting cold feet. I hear it in your voice. You get scared.
All black managers don't get scared, but
too many do.
If you go in the black community and you look at all of your black businesses, most of them have Hispanic people working for them, and it's not about cheap labor. It's about people won't get off their butt and come to work.
Well, now I'm gonna agree with you on that one. I agree with you. But at the same time, when you've gone through generations of being misplaced, abused, and misused, I'm not making any excuses for some of them. Some of them are just downright lazy and sorry. Many times these people have lived in this country and seen so much wealth around them, they don't want that job, but they're going to have to understand that the shade of a toothpick beats that hot boiling sun. You're going to have to get out there and get something that may not be the job that you want, but you're going to have to take it, and we need to learn that lesson. But I got other callers online. I tell you what, Don, call me back next week. We'll dialogue on it, okay? All righty. Let's see if we can get Liz on. I like that. Liz, are you still there?
Yes, good morning. It's actually Lynn.
Lynn, okay. All righty. Go ahead.
Well, my comment was, I come from being raised by my grandparents, and I have had so many morals and principles instilled in me that my value system is off of the chart. Like the gentleman that just called said, once I graduated from college, I ended up taking a job that I didn't think I would get. My degree is not even in education, but I ended up being a high school science teacher because my degree was in the science field. And I have touched so many lives and come in contact with so many inner city kids that I would have never seen in my lifetime. And everyone that called is right. Their value system, their morals is totally wrong. They haven't been taught.
Well, what about those who run major corporations who have wrong values and moral systems? And you're going to probably hear it. I got to get out and got to run. You probably hear it on the next show. One of the biggest corporations in the world have bad value systems because they don't want to pay and treat their people right. I got to run, but listen to the next show. You'll hear about some of them. Good morning to those over at Walmart. Y'all have a good day. I'm Marion Barnett. I'm Senior Pastor of Heavenly Joy Church. We're located at Bruton Masters. We service again at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. 9:30 Sunday School. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed week. Bye-bye.
KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.